stashes and second half hopium. I've got a big group of players here. TreVeyon Henderson, which you're down bad because he's in the stashes and second half hopium. People did not expect him to be here, but TreVeyon Henderson, Bashal Tutin, Kyle Monangai, Dylan Sampson, Ollie Gordon, Brashad Smith, and then Jaden Blue, Caleb Johnson, LOL. I mean, 0.9 points per game for Caleb Johnson. That's easily the worst first round rookie pick you could have made this year. And then your guy, Devin Neal, pops on this list at 0.9 points per game, but he is on the rise because he popped up last week. So just real quick, God, yeah, Caleb Johnson, what a rough run out, because we talked about this during the draft. Like, he was a perfect scheme fit for this outside zone stuff for Arthur Smith, and it's just like it could not have gone any worse for him. So we don't even need to say anything about him. Like, it's just not. It's over for this year, and it might be over. Period. We'll see. But let's talk about TreVeyon Henderson really quick, because I found these stats interesting from Dynasty Zoltan. Split these up for TreVeyon Henderson. We mentioned inside-outside runs. You said the outside runs, he was explosive in college, right? So if you look at his yards per attempt, 2.9 yards per attempt on inside runs, 6.1 on outside runs. Missed tackle force rate, 3% inside, 48% outside. Explosive run rate, 3% inside, 22% outside. And if you look at like his next gen stats, not route graphs, but run graphs, all the outside runs look pretty good. Everything inside, not very good. Is that oversimplifying it, or is that part of the reason why Henderson has not been unleashed by this coaching staff?
That's it. That's what he was in college. That's why he was always a split backfield back in college. It was because he's a tough runner, don't get me wrong, but in short yardage, he was never, ever good in short yardage. That was a thing for multiple years. That's why they went out and got Judkins. And I think, too, it's that he's a great in his kind of high number 2 role, but he needs another back there. That's why Stevenson just continues to get touches, and just what they want to do. And so if you watch the game against the Browns, they did a really nice job of adjusting their game plan. They went really heavy inside to start, really kind of control the game. Hey, we're not just going to chuck it on you guys. And then in the second half, they did a bunch of outside hitters. They did they did some pony personnel too, with both of the backs back out there, Henderson and Stevenson, and where they're just pitching it to Henderson, getting him on the move, getting him outside, letting him use his speed. And it was really, really nice. But again, those guys are going to be almost like Pollard with the Cowboys when Tony Pollard was there. That's kind of his usage right now, where you got to show me more. And until you show me more, we're just going to trust the bigger back to do the bigger back thing. So Henderson's a hard conversation, because I really like him as a football player, but I understand the limitations of his thing, of his role and what he can and can't do of his play style. So it's one of those things that's for years, I start trusting college coaches to go, they do this for a reason. And it's not just, it goes into the NFL. It just comes on. Like, once in a while that does happen. It does happen. But, when you're certain play styles, I'm like, he's fast. He's a speed back for a reason. So, I always just think there's a limited upside with him, because I think coaches are going to think that he always needs someone to spell him or be a 1A or 1B to his speed stuff.
And his calling card was he was supposed to be so good in pass protection. So it's like, okay, he's going to take all the passing down work from Ramondre Stevenson. And he has made some big mistakes as a pass protector as a rookie. And that has also sort of changed the equation for TreVeyon Henderson.
Correct.
That being said, I think the fact that they started to show that, because to me, it's like, okay, well, the guy's good on outside runs, run some like crack toss, pitch it to him, stuff like that. Like, start throwing that in there. And I 100% trust Josh McDaniels to put that into the run game. It's just that could be one of those situations, Nate, where like over the second half of the season, we start to see that more added. And then the sentiment is, what the hell? Like, what you should have played TreVeyon Henderson all along. It's like, well, no, they had to figure out this is what he does well, and they got to start building those in and everything like that. And like, the most important job for the offensive coordinator is not to get the second round rookie running back rolling. Like, their priority right now is, wow, Drake May's really good. Let's keep leaning into that. So
let's keep him upright.
It is exactly. How do we figure out how to get it? Yeah. What do we do with all that? So it sounds like they're sniffing around potentially for a running back at the trade deadline. I don't know what like level of that is, because also Stevenson is hurt right now too. So you're right that I think they can get the best out of Henderson, but there always will probably have to be a banger back here. So that might be something that they look for. But I think that's really good stuff on TreVeyon Henderson. And I think kind of, if anything, level sets the expectations while also leaving the light on potentially that we could see more diverse usage for him later on, and he might be able to recapture some value. So of the other guys on this list here, though, he's the biggest name. These are kind of the like I said, stash candidates, second half hopium. In the like limited looks that we've seen of these guys, who sort of stands out to you?
Well, just because of role and or opportunity that might come is Brashard Smith, because the Chiefs have found ways to get him the ball, and now you got Isaiah Pacheco nursing an injury, and it's like, Kareem Hunt's Kareem Hunt. So it's one of those where the Chiefs offense is rolling right now, and it's a everybody eats types of offense right now. So as far as just even these kind of limited touches, if you even looked at the last game, it was like everybody had 2 touches. So it's kind of one of those where the opportunity might present itself. But Kyle Monungai, and that for the Bears is they're trying to get him going, and the Bears run game has gotten going since for probably about a month and a half. I looked since week 3. I know you looked at similar stats. I can't remember when your cutoff was. I think it was post-bye for them. But I went since week 3 for the Bears. They've had like a top 10 offense since week 3. But run game wise, they're 3rd in rushing success rate, 8th in EPA per run, 9th in yards per play, 7th in net yards per attempt passing. But also, if you look at the Bears' future schedule, they go against the Bengals this week, who are 31st in rushing DVOA. Giants the week after that, 32nd in rushing DVOA. Vikings 15th, but 26th in rushing success rate allowed. Steelers 24th in rushing DVOA. Eagles 25th in rushing DVOA. And then they get the Packers, who are top 10. But it's, to me, DeAndre Swift has been fine in his role, but he is still freaking frustrating. And they are giving Monungai juicy touches in entire stretches of drives now. They're trying to get him going, and he's succeeded. He has the same success rate right now as J.K. Dobbins, a little bit better than Jahmyr Gibbs, a little bit better than Breece Hall, and a little bit better than Cam Scatterbo. He's 21st in rushing success rate for guys that have 40 or more runs. So he's someone I literally have stashed in every league possible. Dynasty, redraft, everything. But it's just one of these. DeAndre Swift has stayed healthy, and I'm not rooting against him, but I don't think he'll ever get more than 50-50 because Swift has done better. It's just that they are trying to go like, hey, Monungai, go. Like, come on, buddy. And he's succeeding right now. So he's the guy I'm just keeping my eye on because the Bears run game's rolling and he's rolling as well.
No, I like what I've seen from him a lot. I think he should be rostered in 100% of leagues, and it's not even close to that. Like, he should be on benches, especially because he's a one injury away guy. Like, if Swift does get banged up, or if it's just over the course of the year, they like, all right, we know what Swift is. Ben Johnson definitely knows what Swift is. Like, we let's see a little more Monungai. And honestly, if you can, like the post-bye rookie bump, we talked about it. Hey, maybe it's coming for Luther Burden. Maybe it's coming for Colson Loveland. The 7th rounder is actually the guy who's gotten it because his usage and you can feel the trust they have for him. That's grown since the bye more than anything else. And I actually, it's funny enough that I think that Ben Johnson had obviously a big hand in Colson Loveland and Luther Burden being picked, but he also does strike me as the guy that would be like, yeah, draft capital doesn't matter to me. If you're doing your job and I trust you, like, you're the guy that's going to play like that 100%. There's been this weird narrative. I mean, Bears Twitter, there's all kinds of weird narratives, but there was a weird narrative that like,
what's the daily meltdown today?
Yeah, right. Seriously, today there was. I saw today. Today was people like, well, he's got to stop throwing to Rome Odunze so much. He's stop throwing to Rome Odunze so much because you got to get the other guys going. Right, and they asked Ben Johnson about that. He's like, well, no, he's the number 1 in the progression and he's open. So I want him to throw to that guy. Yeah, and it's just like. That's the guy he trusts. That's what I want you to do, the right things here. And Kyle Monungai, to that point, is doing the right thing. So definitely a guy that people should have stashed. I'll just quickly mention your guy, Devin Neal, and I want you to talk about him. Basil Tootin, I feel like if you've been listening to this podcast, you should stash Basil Tootin. Explosive player, hasn't been perfect, but good ecosystem. And Travis Etienne's one of these guys that's worn down over the course of years. If you look at like his yards per carry by month, it consistently tends to go down. So Tootin, definitely stash him. Good player, good rushing ecosystem. We've said enough. With Devin Neal, I love that he got a big boost in playing time right after Kendre Miller got hurt. And Alvin Kamara has been mid this year as a runner at best and is a guy that's also now dealing with an injury. So talk about your guy, Devin Neal, and why people should be interested in him.
One of the strangest how I felt about him and where he went in the draft. This was the guy I wouldn't even say I was way off. I'm just still confused because what he's shown so far as a pro is just exactly what he showed in college. He's reliable, true 3-down back where he can take every kind of touch in between the tackles, and he's great in protection. Even against the Bears, before he kind of had extended playing time, he picked up a blitz that was great. And Spencer Rattler, before he got benched, was able to kind of get off a throw. I've just really liked him. I think he's really great in a physical run scheme. I wanted the Bears to draft him, actually, of all teams. Actually, just speaking about Monunga, I thought he would have been Neal. I actually wanted the Chiefs to draft Devin Neal because I thought he'd been perfect for their run scheme. But just a nice, he's kind of got a little bit of Devin Singletary slow-mo to him, but I actually think he's quicker and faster and bigger than that. I would actually say like David Montgomery is the kind of play style of him, but Montgomery is the more juiced up version of it. But just that kind of play style where it's a nice shifty back, not the fastest back in the world. I know David Montgomery would get mad about that, but just great protection, just reliable, good hands, kind of a do everything back. And like you said, Kamara, who to me is a reliable back and has done so well in his career, has been disappointing, I would say to me. I think he's been outright poor in protection this year. And so Neal's already deserved those touches because I think he's been better in protection as a 7th round rookie. But yeah, I've been bullish on him. He's another guy I've stashed in so many leagues, and I just kind of let him fall to me in dynasty leagues. And I was just like, whatever. Like, I'm going to just trust my eval here. Like, to me, he seemed like a coach's favorite. I get it. He's like a 4-6 guy, but he can hit singles. Like, he's just a guy that gets on base. And I don't know. He's a guy that I think will stick in this league. I still remain bullish on him because nothing I've seen from the NFL, it's like, oh man, he looks slow. It's like, oh no, he looks fine. Like, his NFL speed is fine.
Yeah, he's a perfect example of a guy that once you get through your bye week gauntlet, just stick him on the end of your bench and see what happens. You probably have to be a pretty deeper league, but certainly name to keep on waiver wire speed dial if he really starts popping or Kamara's injury is serious, which again, he's dealing with an injury right now. So just again, a name to keep in mind, and Nate's really excited about him. I like that take a lot.